Hello everyone, so today I want to undertake a really crazy project. I want to go through all of my read nonfiction books. So this cabinet holds all the nonfiction books that I've read, and I started reading in 2006. So from 2006 until now, I've been reading a lot of books every year, and a lot of them are nonfiction, and I really, really love nonfiction books. And so I tend to hold on to them to reread them so I can keep learning from them. And then I put them all in this cabinet here so I can keep track of the ones I've read. And I have reread some of them, but most of them have not been reread. But today, what I want to do, and since there's no organization here at all, I'm going to take them all out, clean the bookshelf, and then I'm going to sort them into categories. And for every single category, I'm going to decide which book I am definitely going to reread, which book I'm going to hold on to, but maybe not reread now, and then which books I'm just done with. I'm not going to reread at all because there's a lot. So also, I did try to make this video yesterday, and I ended up having to delete it because it was just a mess. I tried to go shelf by shelf, but every shelf was just out of control, and I had a really hard time focusing on what I was doing and which books I wanted to declutter. So I think the best way to do it is just take everything out and go through and organize them by category. So I'm going to pause the video and take all my books out and put them on the living room floor. Okay, so here it is. The bookshelf has been cleaned out. The only thing I have left here, this is sheet music for piano and violin and voice. So we just keep this here because this is technically our music room, and I will have to go through this another time. So here's my son's drum set. Here is the stack. Oh my goodness. So this is crazy. These are all the nonfiction books that I've read over the last 9 years that I decided were good enough to keep and reread. Some of these I have reread several times. Others I have never reread. They are completely out of order. I would say I'm definitely more of a nonfiction reader than a fiction reader. I also tend to keep nonfiction books and get rid of the fiction books because I'm very sensitive to bad writing or stories I don't really buy. So the fiction books have to be really great for me to keep and want to reread. But the nonfiction books, I find excuses to keep because they are valuable. There's information in them. And I think every time I read it, I will get smarter and gain more information from it. So that's why I hold on to them. But this is kind of ridiculous. This is a huge, huge stack of books. I'm having a hard time believing that there's this many books that I've accumulated. This doesn't, you should see how many I have non-read, but that's a different topic. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to pause the video and I'm going to sort these into categories, and I'm going to go category by category and make a decision about each stack. Okay, so I'm done. I sorted these books by category. I did the best I could. This was very hard. Some books, I had so many science books, I had to sort them by author. Oh no, there's a whole stack in the corner I forgot about. Okay, I'm going to call that my miscellaneous stack when I get to it. I completely forgot about those. Okay, so I'm just going to start here, and my main priority is to see how well I remember the book and how much I want to reread it. So Nothing to Envy. This is such an amazing book about This is such an amazing book about North Korea. I absolutely love this book. This book got me wanting to read everything about North Korea. So this is definitely a keep. I did just read this a few years ago, so I don't know if I'm ready to read it again. I do have a few more books left about North Korea that I want to read before this one, but this is definitely a keep. I really enjoyed most of this book. I think I read this one in 2024. This was very good, but a lot of this book, I think the ending of this book was a lot of speculation and prediction. But I think I do want to hold on to it because I really did enjoy it. But I'm not as excited about that one as I am about the other one. I would say these are some of my social. Actually, I'm going to stick this in another stack. I'll put that in another stack. Okay, so these are my books about democracy. Brave New World Revisited. This is a book that Aldous Huxley wrote after Brave New World, which is one of my favorite books. And this is all about this kind of a compare and contrast between his book, Brave New World, and 1984, and kind of an examination of the various political systems and the way that the governments worked in the two books. And I really enjoyed this one. It was not an easy read, so I have my clip notes to help me out. But I did get through it. It took me a really long time. I did get this book water damaged in the process because I think it took like 3 months to finish it. But I do want to hold on to it just because it challenged me, and I want to be challenged again. Democracy in One Book or Less. This book was fun. I actually ended up buying a copy for my friend after finishing it. This is by David Litt, and he is one of Barack Obama's speechwriters. And I have another book by him as well called Thanks, Obama. So I do want to read this one again because it was a very valuable book. It was very shocking about the problems in our democracy. I hope that David Litt writes a follow-up soon. How Democracies Die. I don't remember this book, but I want to read this. Also, The Road to Unfreedom. I'm a huge fan of Timothy Snyder. I think I really enjoyed this book. This is about Russia, Europe, America. I do want to reread this. Twilight of Democracy. This book is mostly about, well, let's see. What is she writing about? I don't even remember now. I have a hard time remembering this book, but I really don't want to. I don't want to let go of these books. And then finally, Surviving Autocracy, Masha Gessen. I have read many books by Masha Gessen, most of them, so I don't have very many left. She's a wonderful writer, and I want to hold on to those books. So these are very close to my heart. These two books on creativity, art, and fear was amazing. I actually read this on a plane, going on vacation. I really enjoyed this. This book really hit me hard. So, and then Big Magic, I don't remember this book at all. I think it was good, but I don't remember. So I'm going to put this in my reread pile. It's my first book to go in my reread pile. Do I want to reread any of these books right now? No. I have so many books about the decline of democracy that I just want to focus on those books right now. But I am getting a bit light on my creativity books. Okay, this is a fun stack. These are my minimalism and decluttering books. And obviously, guys, I am a minimalist. So I do reread these books every couple years. So let's see which ones I want to keep. The Joy of Less I just read. This was a very pleasant, fun, relaxing book to read. I really liked it. The last chapter, though, goes off the rails a bit, I think. Where she kind of, I guess, encourages everyone to just instead of donating and getting rid of everything, to reuse everything. And it was very odd. And recycle and reuse and it was very strange. It was like a completely different tone, but I still enjoy most of this book. The Life-Changing Magic of Tidying Up. I did let go Spark Joy a couple years ago. I have read this book 3 or 4 times now. I think I'm done with it. I'm done. I don't think I agree with her. So this is my first UNHAUL. Goodbye Things. I've read this book countless times, maybe 4 times, 5 times. I don't know. I enjoy it every time. So I'm going to hold on to this. And then Clutter Free with Kids. This is a book I've read maybe 3, 4 times now. I think I got these messages into my brain that Joshua Becker has, and I'm going to let this book go. My kids are very good at letting things go, and I no longer need that book. Okay. A Word a Day. I really enjoyed this one. I have other books by this author. Learn Something New Every Day. I enjoyed that one. And then my intellectual devotionals, I think I would reread. I have a couple left, though. Okay, these are my books on autism. The Prodigy's Cousin was phenomenal. This is all about the family link between autism and extraordinary talent. Prodigies. My family does have both prodigies and autistic people in it. So I find this is an interesting subject for me to read on. Also, the Journal of Best Practices. I love this book. I think I've read it 3 times. It's probably my favorite book on autism. This is a new book. I just read this one, Women and Girls with Autism Spectrum Disorder. I really like this book. And then this is my favorite book by John Elder Robinson. I've let everything else go. This is the book he wrote about his autism after he went through brain stimulation therapy. It was a fascinating book, very well written, very pleasant book. So I'm going to hold on to that one. Okay, these are what? What are these? Psychology, ultra learning. Okay, I'm going to put this in reread because I don't remember anything about this book at all. So let's go into my reread pile. Drive. I don't remember anything about this book right now, but I don't want to reread it right now, so I'm going to keep it. Hidden Potential. I remember really liking most of this book. I got it from the library, and then I'm buying my own copy after I read it. So I'm going to hold on to it because I liked it enough to buy it after reading it from the library. And then Originals: How Nonconformists Move the World. I think I really like this one. I think I really enjoyed this book. I think I probably should put this in a different category too, maybe with Freakonomics and, I don't know. I guess it's okay for now. Okay, let's grab another stack. Parenting. How to Raise an Adult. I read this book a really long time ago. I think it's time to reread this one just because it's been so long. He's Not Lazy, Empowering Your Son to Believe in Himself. I don't remember this book. I just remember him saying, your son's not lazy. I think I'm going to let this one go. My son isn't lazy. He's wonderful, and I'm no longer worried about him being lazy. I think I'm either going to read another chapter of that one or let it go. Oh. Okay, Good Inside. I'm ready to let go. This book was great, especially if you have really young children who are doing any of the things that this author talks about, such as lying, acting out, not listening, having tantrums, having aggressive tantrums, whining, rudeness, food trouble, shyness, fears. Anyway, so anything that if you feel like you're a bad parent because your child is giving you trouble, this is definitely the book for you, especially if it's a young child. I read this book. I got a ton of good information out of it. I don't think I'm going to reread it because so much of it was geared towards parents with younger children. So that is going into the UNHAUL pile. Battle Hymn of the Tiger Mother is my favorite parenting book of all time. I've read this book so many times. It is amazing. I've actually read this book with my son when I was homeschooling him. We read this together, and he loved it too. So this is, I would say, how not to parent your child, especially if your child is a prodigy. My son is exhibiting some prodigal, how do I say this? In some areas, he's doing very, very well. I would say possibly at a prodigy level. So this really hit close to home of like what not to do when your child is exhibiting symptoms of prodigy behavior. So don't push them too hard, don't abuse them, fun things like that. So I like this book a lot. I'm going to hold on to it. The Price of Privilege. I think I'm either going to reread this or get rid of it. I remember liking this book, but it's a bit cringy, I guess. I'm going to stick that into the not go back on my shelf pile. Okay. High IQ Kids. Okay. I remember really liking this book. This was very helpful. It's just depressing that schools don't really help out parents with gifted children, especially regular public schools. But I think I do want to hold on to this book. Same with Gifted Children. This one I think I enjoyed even more. I really, really like this book a lot. Okay, The Explosive Child. Got distracted. And Raising Your Spirited Child. I don't know if I need to hold on to these two books. My kids are doing really, really well with their mental health. So I'm either going to reread these or get rid of them. Okay, Smart Girl. I love Smart Girls. I actually bought, she wrote an updated, she revised this again and wrote another copy of it, but I didn't like it as much. So I really like the original one that she wrote. Not the original, this one, this edition. I love this book so much, so I'm definitely going to hold on to it. And it's signed by the author, even though it wasn't signed to me. Anyway, this book, Emotional Intensity in Gifted Students, this book was the most helpful, I think, in terms of like how to actually help your child. I think I'm going to hold on to that one. And also The Drama of the Gifted Child. I really liked this book. I got it from the library, and then I bought myself another copy of it. This is a very interesting book about abuse of gifted children and what happens to them when they become adults. So I really like this book a lot. So I'm going to hold on to that one and reread. Actually, I'm going to reread it. So I'm going to put that right in the reread section. I'm just going to go back. Do I want to reread any of these books? Or can I just want to reread this one? No, I'm going to reread the Hidden Potential book because I bought myself another copy, and I did really want to reread that. Okay, so this is my current politics section. Most of these books are on Donald Trump. We got War. Love this book. I just finished it last month. Confidence Man. I like this book. I'm going to hold on to it. Russian Roulette. So depressing, but I love these types of books. Plot to Destroy Democracy. Yeah, I like this. This is all about Putin's and Russia's interference in the U.S. politics. Of course, I had to get every book on that subject. House of Trump, House of Putin. Okay, this one's really good. Michael Lewis. This is one of probably my favorite book by Michael Lewis. This is all about what happened to our government after Donald Trump took office last time, and it's all about the various parts of the government and how they were affected. Things that you wouldn't think about, like the energy department, the DOE, all those parts that Donald Trump forgot to manage. Also, Hiding in Plain Sight, The Invention of Donald Trump and the Erosion of America. I think I like this book. I think I would want to reread it, maybe just not now. And then I Alone Can Fix It and A Very Stable Genius. I think these were probably the best written books. Also Confidence Man, on the Donald Trump presidency. And so I'm going to hold on to them. I did let go probably like 6 or 7 books on Donald Trump last year during my UNHAULs. So I'm going to hold on to these. Next, I have my Obama stack. This book I really, really loved. I ended up getting the sequel. This is all about just his first year in office, and I really enjoyed this book. I do want to reread it. So I'm going to put this in the reread pile. Thanks, Obama. This is another book by David Litt. He's the one who wrote the Democracy book. This one was a fun book. I enjoyed it. I'm going to hold on to it. A Consequential President. This was not as fun, but it went step by step through everything that President Obama did in every industry and how he helped the recession. And I found that interesting and informative, even though it wasn't a very pleasant read. I also have A Promised Land by Barack Obama. This book I did not like, but I still bought it and read it. I just didn't feel like he was... I didn't like the way he wrote this book. I actually read this book, The World as It Is by Ben Rhodes. And Ben Rhodes is Barack Obama's speechwriter. And he wrote almost exactly the same book as Barack Obama because they were, I guess, hanging out and doing the same stuff. And his book was so much better. This was so much more intelligent, more honest, kind of tell it as it is. I feel like Obama couldn't say some of the things that he wanted to say, and so he had to edit himself. So I would choose Ben Rhodes' book over Obama's book, but still, I'll hold on to it. Okay, my graphic novels. These are my nonfiction graphic novels. This book is amazing. Persepolis, Hyperbole and a Half, Solutions and Other Problems. It's more about mental health problems. They call this The Enemy. This is George Takei, who was on Star Trek. He wrote about how his family was in the Japanese camps. March, Book 1, John Lewis. I need to read the other 2 books. And then can't we talk about something more pleasant? I really like this book by Roz Chast. This is all about what happened when her parents started to get older and she had to figure out how to take care of them. And this book was very eye-opening, and I really did enjoy it, so I'm going to hold on to it. XKCD, absolutely incredible graphic novel, Volume 0. I would highly recommend that one. And then Fun Home. Fun Home is great. So I'm going to hold on to all my graphic novels, but I don't think it's time to reread them yet. Okay, I don't know how I'm going to get to the rest of my books. I guess I'll just go around the corner. Here, I'll just do China. Okay, this is definitely time to reread this one. I was obsessed with this book when I first read it, so I'm going to slide it over. That's how I'm organizing it, just going to throw them over. And then I did read this one recently, The Man Who Loved China. This was a very interesting book about an American who went to China and did stuff, I guess. Okay, education. Have I gone through the stack yet? Okay, How Children Succeed. I think I've read this one twice. The One World Schoolhouse. This book was written by the founder of Khan Academy. It was a very good book. I don't think I loved it, but I think I liked it enough to keep. Oh, this book I just read by Paul Tough. This is all about college. One of the best books on college I've read. And The Gatekeeper, more about college. Cleverlands. This is a book. This book is about a woman who travels to various countries and talks about their education systems. I really enjoyed that. One of my favorite books, The Overachievers. I just reread this. It's all about tracking the lives of various kids in high school and their plans in life, and I love that book. Most Likely to Succeed. Do I want to read this book again? I'm going to put that in the review and reread or get rid of pile. World Class. One mother's journey halfway around the globe in search for the best education for her children. I think I like this one. And I read it recently, so I'm going to keep it. I loved The Knowledge Gap. This book was great. I feel like if I read some of these books again, I'm going to be really depressed. And then The Smartest Kids in the World and How They Got This Way. I think I've read this book a couple times now, and I really enjoy it every time. So I'm going to hold on to those. Okay, we got Singular Sensation, The Triumph of Broadway. This book is all about Broadway. I liked it. Audition, everything an actor needs to get to... everything an actor needs to know to get the part. I think this book was valuable. I had a copy. I gave it away, and then I bought another copy. So Stanford Meisner on acting. I hated this book. I hated it. Really did. But I'm going to hold on to it because I think he's onto something maybe. I don't know. Notes to an Actor. This book was amazing. I love this book. This is one of the best books on acting that I've read. Why am I holding on to this one? I have such weird feelings about this one. I don't want to reread it right now, but I do want to reread it later. Okay. Homeschooling. I did homeschool for a year, and it was great. And The Skylark Sings With Me. I almost want to get rid of this book. This book was great, but I don't think I'm ever going to read this one again. This one I will because it was amazing, and I've read this many times, and it's hilarious, so I'm going to hold on to it. And then Homeschooling, A Patchwork of Days. I'm not ready to let go of that one. That was just too good of a read. These are just lesson plans, samples, and also like journal entries from families at homeschool. And I have the sequel to this, and I really enjoyed these books. So I'm going to hold on to it. Here we have math. I have Joy of X, The Simpsons and Their Mathematical Secrets. This book was incredible. If you like math, by Simon Singh. I have a lot of books by him. This book was so good. And then also Infinite Powers is another really great book on math. I need to read more books on math. I just don't do it. But yeah, I highly recommend those two. No, I'm not ready to reread them because I have like 50 books on math that I haven't read, and I should be reading those. But I don't want to let go of those. Okay, these books are about prodigies, Off the Charts, The Hidden Lives and Lessons of American Child Prodigies. This book was a fun read. Let's see. This book talks about several child prodigies, including Bobby Fischer. Anyway, yeah, I think I do want to keep it. I do want to hold on to this book. This book is interesting. This is The Geography of Genius. I think he just travels the world trying to figure out where geniuses come from. It was a fun read. I kind of enjoyed it. And then The Spark. Just every chapter is about a different genius. I kind of like that. I also have the other one, but I accidentally gave it to a friend and now it's gone. So hopefully I'll run into it again. But these are fun little biographies of geniuses. Okay, so these are my social sciences. This is more science than social science. This is more about genetics, but I don't know. It's on the topic. I just read this book last month, so that's a keep. So you want to talk about race. I found that one very valuable. Uncomfortable Conversations with a Black Man. I don't remember too much about it, but I remember it being valuable. It's too bad I don't remember it. Nickel and Dime was amazing. Evicted, I just rebought because I wanted to read it again. So I will reread it. Yeah, that's what I'm going to do. Just Mercy, I want to reread because I had a hard time following this. So I'm going to reread that one. And Between the World and Me is a reread because I just rebought it. So, okay. I need to get some of these books out of my way so I can keep going. Okay. So I have a stack just for Richard Feynman. I am a Richard Feynman enthusiast. I love Richard Feynman. I have almost everything he's either written or written about him. My stepdad, who passed away many years ago, he was also a Richard Feynman enthusiast. He was a scientist who worked at JPL, and he actually bought a house right next door, not next door, but like right in the same street as Richard Feynman. And I think he bought up a lot of his possessions in the estate sale after he died. So I kind of grew up, I didn't really know much about Richard Feynman, but later on after my stepdad died, my mother told me, oh yeah, he was obsessed with Richard Feynman. And then I got obsessed with Richard Feynman, completely unrelated. So I have a little section. So I have Genius, that's his biography, the book he wrote, his memoir, Surely You're Joking, Character of Physical Laws, QED, Quantum Man is a really good biography. 6 Easy Pieces, this is him just going through 6 easy science principles that are really well written, and then The Quantum Labyrinth, another biography of him. So sadly, the house that Richard Feynman lived in Altadena has burned down in the Los Angeles fires, and the house that I grew up in also burned down. So that's really sad. Moving on. Okay, Subliminal. Okay, so these are like economics books, I guess. I just read this one. I don't really remember it, but I think I do want to reread it. And then The Drunkard's Walk, it's time to reread because this is by the same author. I think it's about economics. It's been so long, but it's time to reread. Freakonomics. I think I really enjoyed Freakonomics and Think Like a Freak and even Super Freakonomics when I read it. I don't remember too much about it. They're a bit suspect. I don't know how true they are, but they're fun. I'm going to set them aside to think about. A Beautiful Mind. I think it's time to reread it, but I'm not ready. Black Swan. Okay, I don't remember anything about this book. I think this book went right over my head. I'm going to put this in the reread section. A Psychology of Money. I don't remember anything. I gave this book 5 stars. I don't remember anything. I either need to let this one go or reread it. The Big Short, I have been wanting to reread recently. And then Trekonomics was really fun. I will reread it, just not now. Okay. Books on Russia. From Cold War to Hot Peace. This was written by one of the ambassadors, Michael McFall. This was great. I love this book. John Steinbeck's Russian Journal. Amazing book. This is Lana Alexandrovich. This book won the Nobel Prize. This book was amazing and terrifying and horrifying. This book was so weird. Nothing is true and everything is possible. It's just how weird Russia is. It's such a weird country. This book I've read twice now. This is about a NPR journalist who chose a random place in Russia, Chernobylsk, and she traveled there and she interviewed the people and she got to know the region. Really good book about why Russia is the way it is today. This book I need to reread. I don't remember anything. It's about the arms race. Catherine the Great. This book was amazing. I just read it. This book is about the time that Lee Harvey Oswald lived inside the Soviet Union. Very, very good book. I really enjoyed that. Love this one. The Future is History. Another Masha Gessen. Mentioned her earlier. Oh, The Man Without a Face. Masha Gessen. Incredible. Caught in a Revolution. This is all about the Russian Revolution as told from the perspectives of various Americans and Europeans who were living there at the time. And The Story of Russia by Orlando Figes, who I have many books by but haven't read yet. I don't want to reread any of these books right now because I have a million books on Russia that I haven't read and I'm going to focus on those. But since Russia is a special interest topic for me, I'm going to hold on to these. And some books on Ukraine. I have Invasion and The Showman, all about Vladimir Zelensky. I just read those books recently because the war is recent. So I'm going to hold on to them but not get rid of them. These are my true crime. So this is Bill Browder, his 2 books, Red Notice and Freezing Order, amazing nonfiction thrillers about Bill Browder and Vladimir Putin. Very fascinating. Killers of the Flower Moon. I just read this one last year. It was amazing. Numbers Go Up, Inside Crypto's Wild Rise and Staggering Fall. I love this book. This book was so good. Bad Blood, incredible. Blowout by Rachel Maddow. This is all about the oil industry and Russia again. Incredible book. Going Clear. I've read many books on Scientology. This is the one I've kept. Going Clear. I love this book. This book was so good. And then Empire of Pain. Definitely one of the best crime books I've read. So that's a hold on to. These books are about health. The Mind's Eye by Oliver Sacks. This is about his journey going blind. I think I'd want to reread that. And then The Man Who Mistook His Wife for a Hat. It's time to reread this book. Oh, sorry, book. Okay, Brain Rules. I don't remember anything about this book. I read it, and then I bought an updated copy of it, so I'm going to reread that one. Okay, Bill Bryson's The Body was great. I remember it fondly, and same thing with The Diagnosis. Genius Life, amazing. Genius Food, even more amazing. And Outlive. This book was a really good eye-opener and made me rethink my life and change the way I live. So I'm going to hold on to those. Okay, I'm coming into biographies. I'm also running out of room. Planck, I remember this one very well. Einstein, I've read this book many times. Oppenheimer, I just read last year. I love this. This is a good Tesla biography. I enjoyed this one, The Inventor of the Modern. And then Obsessive Genius, The Inner World of Marie Curie. I like this one. I have Walt Disney's biography, was really good. I actually bought this right at his museum. And Walter Isaacson's Leonardo da Vinci. I had such a hard time getting through this book. I didn't like it. I'm going to hold on to it, though. Alexander Hamilton, love this book. Such a good book on Benjamin Franklin. I really enjoyed this one, The Americanization of Benjamin Franklin by Gordon Wood. An amazing book on Abraham Lincoln that I want to reread this one. I'm going to put that in the rereads. Benjamin Franklin. I did not like this one, but I want to reread it. Not now, though. John Adams, amazing book. I'll reread it, but not now. Elon Musk, I really enjoyed this book, too, by Walter Isaacson, so I'm going to hold on to that. I read this one 2 years ago? No, a year ago. These are my celebrity memoirs. I have Bryan Cranston, incredible book. Trevor Noah, and Serge Tankian. So he's the lead singer of System of a Down. All amazing books by amazing celebrities. Moving on. Oh, Albert Einstein's The World as I See. This is all about his beliefs, I guess. I have another book that this is just a collection of excerpts from a much bigger book that I have but not read. So it's easier just to have that. Bill 9, Everything All at Once. I had such a hard time with this book. I really did not like it, and then I started really liking it. So I do want to reread it, just not now. Diving Bell and the Butterfly, I have read many times. Twice. Really great book. Okay, Fear and Loathing in Las Vegas. I don't want to read this one again. It was a trip. A Room of One's Own. I do want to reread. Moonwalking with Einstein, I need to reread, because I don't remember anything about that. Joan Didion, A Year of Magical Thinking. This book shook me so hard. Educated. I just recently rebought this book, so I'm going to hold on to it. They Called Us Exceptional. I loved this book, but I want to see if I can find a finished copy, so I'm going to let go of that one. The Flag, the Cross, and the Station Wagon. I really enjoyed this book, but this is also an uncorrected proof. And then I'll Just Be 5 More Minutes. This is a book about ADHD, and I really, really enjoyed it, but it's, again, not the finished version, so I'm going to let it go. These Precious Days, essays by Ann Patchett. Love this book. That's one I bought after getting the library copy. Endurance, signed copy. Great book. White Robes and Broken Badges. I think I'm going to let this book go. I read it. This was really good. This was a really good book. I don't think I want to read it again. It's just not it was great, but I don't want to read it again. The Education of an Idealist. This is a memoir of Samantha Powers. I really, really, really like this book. She was the UN ambassador and worked with Barack Obama on human rights issues. And then 2 books on chefs. It's time to reread this book. This book I bought, read, got rid of because I didn't like his tone, and then I realized I was wrong and bought another copy. So yeah, I'm going to reread it. And David Chang's, this one I just read, so I really like that one. He's such a sweetie. I mean, he's not, but I really liked him. Okay, 3 books. I didn't know what category to put these ones in: Sapiens, Homo Deus, and 21 Lessons for the 21st Century. I didn't know what category to put it in. I loved Sapiens. I did not love these 2 books, so I'm going to put them in the reread section. Okay, history, a little history of the world. I want to reread this book. This book was fun. The Last of the President's Men. This book is all about Richard Nixon. I don't know if I want to hold on to this. I think I might let that one go. Founding Brothers. This book defeated me. It was so hard to read. But then I got rid of it after I finished it, and then I bought another copy because I wanted to try again, because I don't like being defeated by books. The Paths of Dissent. Soldiers Speak Out Against America's Misguided Wars. I'm going to let this one go. This book was amazing, absolutely amazing, but it's another advanced reader's edition that was sent to me. If I find a finished copy, I will buy it and reread it, but at this point, this book was very vivid for me. War is bad. Horrible. So I'm just going to let this one go. American Sketches. I wanted to read this one again after finishing it. So I'm going to hold on to it. This is We Were 8 Years in Power. I love this book so much. I'm going to hold on to it. Lies My Teacher Told Me. It's time to reread, so I'm going to reread that one. One Summer by Bill Bryson was very interesting. And Unwinding. I remember I loved this book so much, so I'm going to hold on to it. And then The Gatekeepers. This book, I definitely did not get all of it. I feel like this one needs another read through to really get the gist. Books on writing. Stephen King's On Writing, I loved, so I want to reread that one right away. Zen and the Art of Writing by Ray Bradbury, I want to reread. How to Write by Richard Rose. I think this one took me forever to finish. I don't know if I loved it. I'm going to maybe get rid of it. Maybe. And then this one I just read, and I think it's worth a reread pretty soon. I remember really liking Anne Lamott's Bird by Bird. Anne Lamott. Chicken Soup for the Writer's Soul was great. And then The Daily Writer's Companion was a good read. So I'm going to hold on to that. For the Love of Books. I'm going to reread this one. It was interesting. Ex Libris. 100 books to read and reread. I'm going to hold on to it. Oops. So many books, so little time. I think I'm going to let this one go. This was great, but I don't see myself rereading that one. And then The Art of Extra Reading was really great. This one goes through specific works of fiction. So yeah, I'm going to keep that one. Francine Prose Reading Like a Writer. I think I do want to reread that one, even though it was hard to get through. How to Read Literature Like a Professor. How to Read Novels Like a Professor. And 25 Books That Shaped America. I think those are all good. I want to hold on to them. Reading Lolita in Tehran was great. Pat Conroy's My Reading Life was great. These 2 books are actually duplicates, but they're so cute. I'm just going to keep them. And then The Know-It-All. This one was fun. I've read almost all of A.J. Jacobs' books at this point because I love this one so much. And I think this is his best one. Okay, so this was easy. These are all books by David Sedaris. I love David Sedaris, and he stays. Tina Fey stays. John Hodgman stays. I love him. And then Augustin Burrow stays because I love Augustin Burrow. I did get rid of a couple books by him, so but these ones are amazing and I love them, so they are all staying. If I can move them. Okay. Maybe You Should Talk to Somebody was really great. The Forking Trolley. I don't know. I don't really remember this one. I don't know anything about that. Star Trek Psychology. I don't remember this book at all. I'm going to either reread it or get rid of it. And then Quiet, I remember was amazing. And then, how do I do this? Ow, ow, ow. Okay, how we got to now, I don't remember anything about this book, so I'm going to put it in the reread section. These are my lawyer lawyer biographies, Double Billing, 1L and Scott and by Scott Turow, and Lawyer Boy. I remember I've read these books countless times and I love them, so I'm going to hold on to all of them. Chemistry books. I haven't read too many books on chemistry. I remember The Disappearing Spoon was amazing, so I'm going to reread that one. And then What is Chemistry and Elemental? I'm going to reread Elemental because I don't remember it, but What is Chemistry was incredible. These are my self-help books. I got Ego's the Enemy. I just read this one last year and it was definitely life-changing, so that's a keep. Quit Like a Woman. This book got me to quit alcohol, so great book. Mark Manson's books. I actually love them. They were a huge, they helped me change my life substantially, so they're a keep. Mindfulness in Plain English. I don't remember anything about this book, so I'm going to reread it. And same thing with Quantum and the Lotus. I have no memory of this book. And then 10% Happiness was great. I love this book. That's a keep. Stumbling on Happiness. I don't remember anything about this book. Man's Search for Meaning. It's time to reread this one. This is another one I got from the library and then bought after the fact. Okay, so these are my husband's favorite books. The Courage to Be Disliked and The Courage to Be Happy. He is a huge fan of this writer. This writer's books have come under a lot of criticism, but he still reads them and rereads them and swears by them. So I'm going to reread them. And then The Happiness Project. I don't know. I really liked this book when I read it. I think I do want to try it again. And then The Art of Happiness and The Joy of Living were great books on Buddhism that I really enjoyed. So I'm going to hold on to those. Okay, the rest of these are science books. So I kind of organized them by author. If I had a lot of books by the author. So I'll go the ones that are not organized first. The Origin of Humankind. I'm thinking I either need to reread this one or let it go because I didn't like it very much. Same thing with The Meaning of Human Existence. I had a really hard time with that one. I didn't really understand it. What if it's just time to reread this one? The Sixth Extinction. I didn't get it. I need to reread this. I remember this one very fondly. John Green. Same thing with this one, A Life on Our Planet and Sentient. I loved this book so much that I'm going to hold on to the Advanced Reader's Edition because I have all of my notes and underlining and highlighting in there. Quantum was really great. Fundamental was really, really great. This is definitely one of my favorite books on physics. The Age of Entanglement. I have no memory of this book, so I'm going to reread it. Entanglement. I think I really like that one. I actually bought a new copy, a nice hardcover, pretty orange copy of it. And then How to Teach Quantum Physics to Your Dog. I might either read it or get rid of it. Okay. Sean Carroll. I have The Particle at the End of the Universe and Something Deeply Hidden. Those were great. I'm going to hold on to them. Michio Kaku, The Future of Humanity. I know one of these books I don't remember anything about. The God Equation was great. Beyond Einstein was great. Einstein's Cosmos was great, and The Physics of the Impossible. So it must have been this one. So I'm going to reread this one. Stephen Hawking, The Theory of Everything was great. This one was amazing. Brief Answers to Big Questions. I really enjoyed that. Black Holes and Baby Universes was really great. Brief History of Time was amazing. And then this is the illustrated with The Universe in a Nutshell. And then this is Briefer History of Time, which was also great. Kip Thorne, Black Holes and Time Warps, and The Science of Interstellar. This book was amazing. I love this. I love the movie, and I love this book on The Science of Interstellar by him. These are all Neil deGrasse Tyson. This one actually I got an uncorrected proof of, so I'm going to hold on to it because it means so much to me. Even though I don't think it was my favorite by him. This one was great. This is the first one. Actually, no, I'm sorry. This is the first book I read by him, and it was cute. And then I read Death by Black Hole, and it was really cute. And I really liked Origins. I think this was my favorite by him. Okay, this is Carlo Rovelli, Seven Brief Lessons on Physics. I've read maybe 3 times now. Order of Time. I don't know if I like that one. Helgoland. I don't know if I liked it. I don't know if I like Carlo Rovelli, but I still read and hold on to all his books. This is the one I just read last year. And then I'm just going to hold on to them. That's all. I'm just going to hold on to them. And then When Einstein Walked with Gogol. I love this book. That one was so great. The Perfect Theory I've read multiple times. Such a great book about Einstein's theory of relativity. The Last 3 Minutes was great. Physics of Star Trek. I need to reread that. We Have No Idea was so much fun. So much fun. Trespassing on Einstein's Lawn. This is one of the first books I read on physics. It was really fun, by Amanda Gefter. It's really good. And then Bill Bryson's Short History of Nearly Everything is a wonderful book. I have a lot of books by Bill Bryson. I also got rid of a lot of books by Bill Bryson. So the first 3 minutes was great. Actually, you know what? I almost feel like it should have been written in the opposite order. I didn't like the way the chapters were. Storm in a Teacup. Got this cute copy of it after I finished it. This is just a book about physics. And then this is another one that I rebought after getting rid of it. So yeah, it's time to reread that one. If I rebought it after I read it, it's time to reread it. Okay. For the Love of Physics was great. I loved Universe on a T-shirt. This was very fun. Before the Big Bang. This book was absolutely incredible. I actually got the uncorrected proof, and I held on to it because it's special to me. Big Bang, this was a really good book. How the Universe Got Its Spots. I need to reread this. Quantum Gravity, 3 Roads to Quantum Gravity. I don't remember this book, so I'm going to reread it. E = mc². I remember really enjoying that one. Sense of the Mysterious. I don't remember. The New Time Travelers. I love this book. They Called Me Mad. It was such a good book on various scientists. And then The Origins of the Universe. I really like that book. So those are all keep. And then here's my random stack. It's getting really dark, so okay, I need to finish this video soon. Walter Isaacson's The Innovators was amazing. Harry, A History. Sorry about the shine. I love that book. Mediocre was amazing. I just read that one last year. The Professor and the Madman. Would I read this again? I don't know. I liked it, but I don't know if I'm going to reread it. The American Story was really good. These are just snippets with these are interviews with various authors about books that I own and read. So that was kind of interesting. I don't know. Probably should hold on to it. I did enjoy it. The 90s was fun. Notes on Grief. I actually got this book directly from the publisher. I think I liked it. We Should All Be Feminists and Feminist Manifesto. I think I should just hold on to them because they're tiny. The God Delusion by Richard Dawkins. This was a good book. I liked that one. The Immortal Life of Henrietta Lacks. I really liked. And Hidden Figures. It's time to reread that one. And then, John Meacham's The Truth is Marching On. I didn't love this book. I felt like it was too short. I'm not sure what to do with it. I either need to reread this one or get rid of it. Yeah, I'm going to put that one. And then Rise of the Rocket Girls, the women who... Okay, I'm going to reread that one. That was really fun. Okay, so... Yeah, I made a bit of a dent. As you can see, there's a stack there to reread or get rid of. A stack there, and then all these stacks. So I'm going to make a decision whether I need to keep these books, and then the rest of these that are still in the middle here are going to go back on the shelf. Yeah, so that's that. Thank you for watching, and good luck with your book decluttering journey. Thank you.